Two fatal mistakes that virtually all artists make when distributing their music on the internet. Hello everyone, welcome to this video. My name is Tariq. I'm a successful producer, publisher and artist, several times certified gold and platinum, and today I help artists and independent producers make a living from their music. So today, when you're an artist and you want to self-produce or you're looking to sign a label, and in the meantime you want to develop your visibility or earn a little money by selling music online or through streaming, you'll turn to solutions called digital aggregators or digital distributors. There are lots of them out there: distrokid, TuneCore, iMusician, Whizband, CD Baby, Ditto, and so on. Most of the time you pay to upload a track, it'll be €9, €10, something like that, and you can send your track to all the streaming platforms, digital sales platforms, etc. around the world. So far so good. But when it comes to the upload phase, there are really two major mistakes that virtually all artists make, or at least all artists who are just starting out or who have been around for several years but aren't specifically trained in the record industry. And that's what we're going to talk about in this video. The first mistake, well, it's to leave too short a time between the upload date and the release date. Let me give you an example. If it's February 10th and you upload a track and set the release date to February 20th, 10 days is far too short. So why is it too short? And is it serious? It's not too short if you want your release date to be February 20, that's not a problem. In general, we say that all platforms are delivered in 10 days. Most digital distributors take between 2 and 3 days to deliver all the platforms on their panel. But if you're aiming to reach Deezer or Spotify playlists, if you're aiming to be heard by the human teams who program Spotify's playlists, for example, then your upload has to take place at least 3 weeks before your release date. What does this mean? It means that if you ever want to release on February 20, ideally you should upload your track and put it online on your digital distributor between January 20 and January 25. This leaves enough time for the playlist programmers to receive the track, process it, listen to it, and decide whether it can be put on this playlist or that playlist or whatever, and analyze the stats you're giving. Because when you upload, you'll have a promo tab where you can put information on streams, sales of a previous project, YouTube subscriptions, Facebook subscriptions, etc., etc. All these elements are important, and it's important to be able to put them into practice. All these elements are important, and it's true that if you don't leave at least 3 weeks between your upload date and your release date, your track won't even be presented to the teams who program the playlists. Why not? Because they have so many requests that if they don't have at least 3 weeks to receive the track, integrate it into their listening meeting and decide what to do with it, they don't even take the time to listen to it. So that's really the first big mistake I see a lot of artists make, because very simply, either they're not aware of it or they are aware of it, but because they have very tight deadlines, because they don't work on back planning systems or things like that, they're caught flat-footed, they need to send the track right now, and so the deadline is much too short. And the second big mistake, and this one is perhaps even more serious than the first, is not generating your own ISRC number. You've probably already seen it when you go to a digital distribution platform and want to send a track. At some point you're going to be told, and it's compulsory, what the ISRC number of the track is. And at that point there are two reactions. Either I know what it is and I have one, so I'll put it in, or I don't have one, but I'll make the request and that's cool, or I don't know what it is, I really don't want to bother with it, and they tell me I can generate one automatically by clicking here, I click here, I've got my fucking number and I can send my track because that's all I'm interested in. The problem with that is that the ISRC number is the identity card of a work. It's really the identity card of a track. It's going to define the year of recording, the country where the track was produced, the root of the producer, i.e. who is the producer, who is the master owner of the track, who is the owner of the master, and finally the registration number. Because a single owner can have several tracks recorded in the same year, creating a bit of a catalog. You can have work number 1, number 2, number 3, number 10, number 25, number 50, and so on. And of course, the bigger the label, the more works there will be in the catalog. So really, the ISRC number will let all the organizations that need to collect rights or things like that know that this work belongs to you. So when you let distrokid or Tankor or CD Baby or whoever generate an ISRC number automatically, what do you think happens? Well, the platform itself, it has a number, it has a producer root, and it's going to put its own. What does this mean? It means that on paper, the owner of the title is no longer you, it's them. And what's in it for me? It means that if, in the years that follow, you don't claim your neighboring rights, in other words, you don't declare your works to the SCPP, the SPPF or whatever. So we won't go into detail in this video. Everything is detailed in the Producer and Successful Artist training course. And for those who don't know what neighboring rights are, I've made a video about them. A little sheet appears as I'm telling you this, by the way, so feel free to go and watch it. But in any case, by doing this, all the neighboring rights generated by your track, instead of going straight into your pocket, instead of going into your SCPP or SPPF account, will remain on hold. And what happens? At some point, the SCPP or SPPF will need to allocate its sums. Because they are non-trading companies, they don't have the right to collect money that isn't owed to them. So they'll be looking to reallocate it. And what happens? They go to Ding Ding, TuneCore, DistroKids, CD Baby or whoever, it's theirs. So mechanically, the bulk of the rights will go to them. And if within 10 years you don't file a claim to say, Pip, this is my work, I can justify that it's my work and I want these rights to go back to me, well, after 10 years, it's lost. Why is that? Because there's a feedback system that goes back 10 years. Beyond that, it's over. What does that mean? It means that if you upload a track to TuneCore today, and in 10 years' time, no one comes to claim neighboring rights on it, for 10 years, TuneCore will have collected neighboring rights that were intended for you, which will now go into their pocket. So obviously, it's a business. Why is it a business? Because imagine on, I don't know, maybe 25 million works distributed. Let's say there are 23 million where the ISRC numbers have been generated automatically and no claim has been made on them. Well, even at 10 euros per work times 23 million, they took 230 million euros. That's colossal. You can't even imagine the crazy sums that self-produced artists or producers leave on the table because they don't know how the record industry works. So don't blame your digital distributors. It's not their fault. It's not their fault you're not educated about the industry. It's not their fault if you don't know what an ISRC number is and how to generate your own ISRC numbers. It's up to you to take the step, to educate yourself, to go out and get trained, to understand how this industry works, to know where the money is, where your money is in this industry, and to make sure you protect it and get it back regularly and legally. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself in the kind of trap that many artists fall into. I myself fell into it in my early days, and in the end you leave money on the table, and that's a shame. So those are really the two biggest mistakes I've noticed artists make when they want to distribute their music. The first is not respecting a sufficiently long delay between the upload of the video and the release date for presentation to the playlist programmer. And the second is to let the distribution platforms generate their own ISRC numbers instead of yours. And when you don't reclaim your neighboring rights, well, they collect them, and that's too bad for you. Thank you for watching this video. If you've learned anything today, drop me a big like. It rewards my work. It motivates me to bring you even more quality content and advice to help you grow your business. Subscribe to the Successful Producer YouTube channel if you haven't already. Honestly, it only takes 2 seconds. You click on the little subscribe button, activate the bell to be notified as soon as a new video is released. There's one a week and everyone's happy. I'm rewarded for my work. You get free advice, and that allows me to spread my message even faster. And for all those who want to go further in the record industry, who really want to learn, who want to avoid this kind of trap, who want to optimize, I invite you to click on the link in the description. I'm offering you the chance to take part in 2 web conferences. One is focused on YouTube to help you understand how to reference your clips on YouTube to quickly reach the trends, to generate more views more easily. Basically, how to put YouTube's algorithm to work for you. And in the second web conference, I'll show you what tools I use to promote radio, clubs, and TV channels. There's a tool that all labels and record companies use, which in just a few clicks allows you to send your tracks directly to the computers of radio programmers, TV progs, club DJs, and sound engineers. What we call sound engineers are services that program music for hairdressers, for shops, for restaurants, for galleries, Lafayette, for things like that, and they bring in a lot of money in terms of royalties. Thank you for watching this video. I wish you all the best for the future and say ciao ciao.